The 6-5 is on the road with a view from Davos. We're here at World Economic Forum having many awesome conversations. You know, World Economic Forum is truly unique. It's really the intersection of government, commerce and finance, a lot of technology. And the conversations have been really insightful, haven't they, Dan?
Yeah, Pat, this is the year that kind of all the buildup that's happened about AI and infrastructure and investment starting to come to fruition. You know, the conversations I'm having have been really focused on how are we going to start to derive value from all these investments? How do we start to see this AI meaningfully impact the world in ways that can be counted, right? That's the World Economic Forum. The numbers lead the discussions here, but the underpinnings is so much technology. And if you just walk up and down the promenade, you see how much technology and how much AI is going to shape the next few years.
Yeah, and obviously a major player in technology is Qualcomm, and we have CEO Cristiano Amon on the show. Welcome back.
Very good, very happy to be here. It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. You probably say that to all the folks.
And the beard.
Yeah.
We're going to have to ask him about that.
Exactly. No, but Cristiano, maybe we can start with, so we're obviously here at World Economic Forum. You've been a multi-year attendee. What do you like to accomplish here, and what kind of conversations are you having?
Look, it has been very productive, and I think if you look at our presence is increasing, the conversations are becoming larger in terms of the number of companies, and I think it has 100% to do with the Qualcomm diversification and growth efforts, especially as you go to a number of different industries. I think if you look at some of the key meetings, I know there's a lot going on with mobile, with AI, but there's a lot of conversations about what we're doing in automotive. In conversation about what we're doing in PC, you saw a lot of the PC guys in here as well. You see many companies, there are system integrators for enterprises incredibly interested in AI PCs and the ability to run models on the PCs and how that's going to change economics. And then most important, we have been very clear about the role of Qualcomm in industrial and AI at the edge. This is a place that you have every single industry, and we have been having conversations about how our technology with AI at the edge can be transformative. And it has been a helpful event to continue to help Qualcomm in our growth and diversification as we take our technology to different industries.
Great answer.
Yeah, no, it was well thought out. Qualcomm, though, is sort of historic around these parts for your nightcap events. Although now you've done two this year because you did the Red Party, which was really great, and then last night you had your big nightcap. And I've got some harder questions for you, but before I do, I was so impressed with the mix. You talk about public-private partnerships, and you brought some just wonderful speakers on stage, really hearing kind of how they're thinking, and as I sort of said, like thinking how they're leading, of course, with economic growth, but so much of what sits under the things that companies like Qualcomm are doing. Talk a little bit about, tell us about the event a little bit and kind of how this really brings that public-private partnership together.
Yeah, so the event is a cool thing. Actually, we started a few years ago, and it's late. It was like 10 p.m. It was like Qualcomm Nightcap. And but it's becoming like a tradition. There's so many people they're coming in. It was good. I think you guys saw it. It's like well attended. You have, as you said, a right mix of CEOs in the government. And I think I'll say that with all humility. It's company built itself on partnerships. Even when we started our licensing business, we developed a technology and licensed to everybody so everybody can build it. And I think it speaks to, the role of Qualcomm and being a partner of both governments and companies. And I think that's what you kind of see in the nightcap. And we had, for example, the Prime Minister of Belgium, we have the Finance Minister of Germany, we have the AI Minister of France. It was a good, conversation, as you saw, about the importance of Europe to understand the need for innovation and how they're going to reshape, their policies to enable innovation to happen. The excitement about AI for all industries, and it was a good discussion. I'm also really excited about having some of the major car company CEOs in here, the PC company CEOs, in a number of other industries. And hopefully we'll continue and be a tradition. And you guys will come in every year.
We'd love to do that. Thank you for the invite for the next 10 years. I appreciate that.
Oh, you have it.
So Cristiano, Qualcomm, it's about compute and connectivity. And I think last night was a great example of connectedness in pulling that together. I did want to ask you about the the general discussion. There's so many changes right now, and I obviously have my opinions on kind of what I've heard. But what's your sense about the level of optimism for growth in the industry? The idea of regulation, maybe interactions between different geopolitical nations out here.
Okay, complicated question. I'll do,
How much time do we have?
A 10-part answer.
But I'll do my best to give a simple answer. Look, there is a optimism right now in the industry, and especially, by the way, just frankly speaking.
Well, I heard it last night.
Yes,
from people I wouldn't normally expect. I heard optimism.
That's great. And I think there's optimism, for example, about the U.S. economy. I think there's expectation, there's going to be growth. The combination of availability of energy, deregulation, and technology innovation usually is a good combination. It drove a lot of the thought process about things that need to happen in Europe. And we see companies really thinking, with maybe this is the year that technology started to move into commercialization. Maybe there's real value to be created. We obviously have a bias because we think that the ability to do AI at the edge is going to be transformative. You can leverage all this computing that is going to be out there. Companies really thinking about how technology is going to transform their company. I can speak all day about automotive companies thinking in a time of a crisis and accelerated competition, we need to innovate, we need to invest in technology, we need to become tech companies. And I think that dialogue is actually positive. So I think there is an expectation that we're going to start to see some growth. I've been cautiously optimistic, but it was good. And if anything, I think there was a wake-up call. I think in Europe, we're here in Europe about we needed to accelerate the ability to innovate, and maybe it's regulation needs to be target towards innovation. And you heard that from the Prime Minister.
100%.
You heard that, yeah.
Yeah, it was good to hear it, and I had a good laugh. I've been telling the story of this funny post I saw online, Cristiano. It showed a U.S. innovation, and it shows Musk, SpaceX catching the rocket out of midair. And then it shows Europe innovation. It shows a guy lowering a bottle cap onto a water bottle with a little string connected to it, and he lets it go, and they show the right and the left. So there's obviously a need, and I think the U.S. drives, and I think Europe is seeing how fast we're moving, and hopefully they want to follow. And I know there's a lot of great partnerships. And by the way, there's a lot of good purpose in some of what they want to do with data and privacy. I mean, it's not one is right and one is wrong, but we see in the U.S. how fast things go. And now we got even more deregulation. I want to talk a little bit about Qualcomm specific and the edge. So the edge and the AI opportunity, I see so much value from this side of vendors, from the side of states, governments, as it relates to everything from lowering the cost of energy, optimizing energy, bringing compute closer. In automotive makes a ton of sense because it's safe. You don't want cars making decisions in the cloud. At the same time, like with things like LLMs, though, we've seen consumers don't necessarily care where it's processed as long as the latency is low enough. Like, how do you see that kind of bifurcation of what gets driven to the edge and making sure that consumers find value in edge applications that maybe they don't directly feel, like things like lowering costs of energy?
No, look, you touch on a number of very important points. I think you have all of the key aspects of it. I want to start by saying this. It's a mistake to think about, this is going to be cloud or edge and one versus the other. I'll give an example. Smartphones are the most cloud-connected devices of any devices. It's 100% connected. If it's not connected, it is like an iPod Touch, right? So it is the most cloud-connected device. And at the end of the day, computing power on phones, generation after generations, continue to increase because the things that you do on your phone. And I think it's not going to be different of any computing systems. And I think what's happening right now is there are reasons that you're starting to see some of those technologies becoming very relevant. Latency, you talk about that. And it's funny because I come, as you guys know, from the wireless industry. We used to talk on the phone. We used to talk on the phone. When we talk on the phone, in the past, let's go talk about the 3G era, operators, they had excellent network. There was premium. There was a premium price for the operator because voice is unforgiving. We start texting each other. If you have an operator not so good, you move around to still get your text. You kind of equalize it. But now, if you're starting using voice, for example, on the phone to talk with AI, you want a response right away, latency becomes important. Voice becomes important again. So you start to see those technologies, you want a response. A lot of companies, when they start about agents in voice recognition, they say all of the LLM that do audio to text needs to be local on the device. Privacy. And the other thing which is interesting is you mentioned cost. And the cost, we're starting to go from training to inference and starting to go real production and it's starting to get to the end goal, real commercial value. So companies are coming to say, every time somebody press the AI button in their application, whether it's the phone and the PC, I run the stuff on the cloud, it costs me money. And why don't I use the existing computing that's available? So we had a number of conversations of ISVs that said, I'm just gonna, like AI PCs are open platform.
Right.
I'm just gonna push my model down and I'm gonna work on that and that's free because the computing is available. So all of those things are starting to happen and that's the great opportunity for us.
As we're bringing this conversation to a close, I did want to ask you about priorities for 2025. I mean, your diversification plan is working. I mean, just looking at the numbers, you'd have to be under a rock to not see that. And you've extended this even farther to the industrial edge. There seems to be a lot of work and impetus and effort going into that. What do you want to accomplish when we're back here in 2026, the day after your late night party? What do you want to have accomplished?
Look, I'm going to answer this question this way because see, one thing about our company, we have to constantly be pushing. So it's not because we succeeded in one area that we're going to stop pushing in this area.
Right.
So I'm going to divide the answer in two folds. Priorities right now is on mobile. We're very, very aggressive. Now that we have the leadership position and performance, we're going to drive a transition to AI phones. That's going to create a lot of opportunities. On cars, our position is accelerating, and now there's this view that Gen AI in the car will create incredible more value on those digital cockpit platforms. And this year of 25, we're going to launch our stack that want to be jointly developing with BMW. So that's a big priority for us. PC, we're ramping. Our priority is we're launching more markets. We're more activity in the channel. We're starting to see the designs. We talk about a designs went from 60 to 100. So those things we'll continue doing. But there is a new priority that we hopefully when we come here in 26, we're going to see traction. We're super focused on industrial. We had made some acquisitions. We built a new product. We're announcing we build a new software platform with different solution for each vertical because we believe that there's going to be incredible value of what I call the next wave of industrial, high performance computing, AI at the edge, and connectivity. We're building a platform for energy, for retail, for manufacturing, for warehousing. We're building solutions across those, and hopefully we'll get some scale when we think about this next year.
Excellent.
Yeah, we have some other things we're working on, but I can't say it right now.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I wish
you hear that, everybody.
I wish one of these days we could, share some of the great conversations we have when we're not on the record, but unfortunately we just can't do that. I did want to say, and then I'll run us out, but is that it sounds to me from conversations I've had, Cristiano, that we are ready for the next era of IoT. Like literally, it kind of like had that dip, but it seems like with AI, with edge, with all the compute processing we have now, networking, that we've created, kind of what we thought could have been IoT 5-10 years ago, has a chance to come back really, really
sure.
strong.
100%. Let me give you a parallel. Sorry, you want to finish your question?
No, go ahead. Let's do it.
Give you a
Cut that in.
parallel.
I know we got to go, but cut it in, give him a chance to say his part, and then we'll.
No, because I want to give it a parallel. It's actually very important. When you think about automotive before, what was the automotive platform before? It was like microcontrollers, not connected. All of a sudden, the car became advanced computing platform. This is now happening with all of the other things in the industry. Microcontrollers get replaced for high performance computing with AI and connectivity. It's the same exact transition.
Well, it's very exciting. Everyone out there, thank you so much for joining the 6-5 on the road with a view from Davos. Great conversation as always with our friend Cristiano Amon, CEO of Qualcomm. Subscribe, be part of our community. Check out all the coverage we had here at this year's World Economic Forum. Great year ahead. We'll see you all soon.